For 4 months now, the entire world has found itself in an uncharted path, that of tackling a global pandemic in the 21st century. The coronavirus pandemic, whose epicenter was China, has tested countries, superpowers and developing countries alike. Rich or poor, all nations find themselves fighting a common enemy, a highly contagious virus. Kenyans have been grappling with measure after measure, escalated when necessary to protect every person from the virus. We shall discuss these measures and what to expect next with Dr. Jackie Kitulu. She is the president of the Kenya Medical Association. Some of these measures, like wearing of masks, have been a source of anxiety and distress. I'll be explaining what you need to know about which kind of mask and how to wear them. This is Health Digest. I'm Dr. Masi Korir. Now we move on to masks. The Ministry of Health, in an effort to contain the coronavirus, advised all Kenyans to wear masks at all times while in public. This controversial move has caused a lot of anxiety to many who are unsure of what kind of mask to wear and how. The World Health Organization recommends masks for use by either healthcare workers, one diagnosed with the virus, or their caregivers. Many countries, however, including Kenya, have adopted mass masking by everyone in public places with the hope that the coronavirus transmission would be limited. The use of a mask alone is insufficient to provide enough protection from the coronavirus. Other preventive measures should also be adopted.
Urging, and we said this the other day, that any person visiting a supermarket or any other open-air market to begin wearing protective masks immediately so that we can begin to prevent transmissions in those areas. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Kenyans, I wish to make a special appeal.
Okay, so this issue of masks has been one where people are unsure of what masks to wear and even how to wear those masks. So with me here are 4 different kinds of masks, which I'll be taking you through on how to properly wear them. Now, remember that masks alone cannot protect you from the coronavirus. You need to wash your hands with soap and water, running water. And this you do for at least 20 seconds. Anytime before you wear a mask, you must make sure your hands are clean because masks are supposed to be not contaminated, and you should always have your hands clean. If you do not have access to soap and water, then you should use a sanitizer. Now, I'll take an example of this particular mask. People have been wondering what side of the mask to wear. There's this colored side for ease of explanation, and there's the white side. Now, the side that is white, which is the absorbent part, should be the inner side. And this side, which is colored, is the side that is outside. This is just for ease of wearing masks. Now, many people have been wearing them the wrong way, where you wear the outside, the inside out, which will not really protect you. Now, make sure you have washed your hands. And for a mask like this one, it is easy to wear because you make sure that these ends of the straps are the ones that go behind your ears, and I'll do that. You first of all make sure this part, which has sort of like a flexible band to it, is the one that covers your nose. And this is to all the masks that are either medically made or surgically made for surgical use. So this part is the one that goes above your nose, and you actually fit it well and make sure that it shapes to the size of your nose. And then now you take the ears and you cover it behind the ears, and then you take the lower side of the mask to cover your chin, and then you just make sure it fits well. So this is what you do to a medical mask or a surgical mask for those that have this kind of mask. And then when you're removing the mask, do not touch the front of the mask. You just look for the handles of the mask, and that is how you remove the mask, and you discard it. The next kind of mask is a similar one, but now this one has straps, which you need to tie behind or on top of your head. So the same principle, the colored side, which has a repellent, is outside, and the white side is the one that is inside. So the same process, make sure your hands are clean, then you make sure it fits on your nose. And then now for this one, you have to actually tie it and you close it well. I see my colleagues with a bald head struggle a bit because it may not have sufficient support like myself who has a ball of hair on my head. Then you make sure that the lower side covers your chin, and then you tie this one behind. So when you're removing it, you untie the lower side, the straps should fall, and then you move on to untie the other side, and then you dispose that kind of masks. Allow me to just put these ones down here. And now there's the N95 mask. This has been, this is actually the one that offers like 95% protection, unlike the other masks. So when you're wearing an N95 mask, this is how you cap it. It also has a band, and most of you have seen one with a metallic band, which is supposed to cover your nose. So you hold it like this with the straps falling down, and then you cap it or make sure it covers your nose, fit the metallic band, and then you take the lower strap. So this is a bit problematic for people with a lot of hair like myself. And then you take the upper band and you cover it. And then you just adjust to fit well. So for those of you that have actually worn an N95, you'll find that it fits well. And then you make sure it fits well. And then there's what you call, you test to make sure that there's no air coming out. And then when you blow into it, actually no air comes out. And that shows you that it's a well-fitting mask and it actually covers. So when you're removing this particular mask, you start with the lower strap. You remove that lower strap, and then you come to the last strap and you remove it, and then you discard this mask. Now, the other thing with the N95, for those that might want to use it for some time, if it's not for heavy use, you can actually sanitize it, and you do, this is just a spray sanitizer to sanitize it, and you can reuse this particular N95 mask. So for the public, and from my own personal experience, the mask that I've found that is a bit friendly to use is the fabric masks. And for those of you that have actually worn the surgical mask, the N95, you find yourself that at some point you have difficulty with breathing because the mask actually covers you and you do not easily breathe. So for my own comfort, I found that the fabric masks are actually better to use and they're reusable. So at the end of the day, it's actually a cheaper option. So the same process, but you cover it, make sure it covers your nose, and the elastic bands go behind your ears, and then you just fit to fit. You adjust to fit. And then the same process, when you're removing the mask, you remove from the elastic band, and you actually now, the beauty with the fabric mask is that you can actually reuse it. At the end of the day, you wash it with hot water and soap. You can wash it with a mix of jig to disinfect, that is any bleach, sorry, to disinfect the mask, and you air dry it and you can reuse it. If you have two masks, then you can have masks in which to keep on changing or to keep changing in between, as opposed to the medical and the surgical mask, which ideally should be left to the healthcare workers who are the front line, because we know that globally, and this is not just to Kenya, there's a shortage of these good quality masks that are supposed to protect the healthcare workers, the frontline healthcare workers who are supposed to be protected from contracting the coronavirus, because the health of the healthcare worker is our health at the end of the day. So that's how to use the mask. Those of you who have been asking all these questions for the entire week, I hope that is a good explanation on how to use the mask and how to dispose this particular mask.